Rise and shine. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday morning, and I am on my series, one of this morning motivation series. Good morning, everybody. Come on in here as you're heading to work, as you're dropping off the kids at school, or you're at work, or you're at workout, wherever you may be. I want to welcome you this morning to another morning motivation. I am your host, Donovan Darius, and as I said yesterday, man, I'm having fun with this. And it's one of those things where remember every day somebody like names the day. Like somebody might say, "Hey man, it's you know what I'm saying, making breakfast on Mondays," or touchdown tip back Tuesdays, or you know what I'm saying, weekend and knees Wednesdays, or something, man. Everybody always got something they name in the day. So I said, I'm gonna have some fun with it. So yesterday, and I don't know how long I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna do it while it's still fun and I'm still having a good time. Yesterday, I did a What's on Your Mind, What's on Mind Thursday. Tanya Lee said, can you give me a shout out, please? Tony Lee said, can you give me a shout out? All right, Tony, I gave you a shout out, man. What you gonna do with it now, man? You better go out and boss today. You understand? You better boss today. Don't be getting shout outs. You have to say all the spotlight on you, and all of a sudden that cat over there on the bed somewhere slacking. Remember, here's a question for you. Scale 1 to 10. 10 being your highest level of output, you maxing out today. That means you totally performing and going after everything you had envisioned in your mind. Scale 1 to 10 today. 1 to 10. What number are you going to achieve by the end of the day? Okay? What number are you going to achieve by the end of the day? I'm going to ask you that now in the morning. 1 to 10. What are you going to get? I want you to post it right now. What level are you willing to put forth today in every area of your life, mentally, financially, relationship, socially, spiritually, you know what I'm saying, physically, all that. What are you going to do today? All right? What are you going to do? So there it is. All right. Thank you, Tony, for the inspiration, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, I ain't calling you a slacker. Sometimes the slackers, you know what I'm saying, they inspire you to do something different. But anyway, today is, I'm naming it. It's like a self-proclaimed, right? Talk about it Thursday. So here's the way that's gonna work. And yesterday, by the way, if you haven't checked out yesterday's, it was What's on Your Mind Wednesday. It was during lunchtime. Definitely check it out because there was some great conversations we were having. We talked about how do you keep your marriage strong? What do you do to maintain your marriage and to keep it strong? So I kind of talked a little bit around that. I also talked, there was another question and I talked around how do you raise boys? If you're a mother, how do you raise boys, teenage boys? I mean, how do you relate to them? Okay, so we talked about that as well. We also talked about how do you stay in shape? How do you get in shape? How do you stay in shape? So I talked about that yesterday, very conversationally, about 2-3 minutes on each one. But again, it was just some strategies. Okay, I tell everybody, okay, when you think about life and you think about moving forward, okay, you always got to understand that life is about strategies, okay, and application. Planning, strategizing, okay, and application. That means you got to plan it out, okay? You got to strategize, okay, what do you want to do? How can you do it? What's your strengths? What's your weaknesses? What have you done before? What works? What doesn't work? Then you got to plan it out, and then you got to execute it. Then you got to get it done, okay? There's 1,000,001. How many people got notebooks full? They got notebooks full of information, right? But they ain't do nothing with it. So it's about the execution too. So you got to execute it as well. I was sharing yesterday, okay? Always remember this. Great leaders are great readers. Great leaders are great readers. Now, I say that because in my life, here, you know what I'm saying, the title that most fits me when I think about it, okay? All right, I was a former professional athlete, you know what I mean? But beyond that, there was a deeper calling for me. I am a professional life strategist. And I love that because everything I do is about strategizing. When I was on the field, I was strategizing. In my relationships, I'm strategizing. In my home, I'm strategizing. In my job, I'm strategizing. Everything I'm doing, I'm talking to you, I'm strategizing. And so the way I get a chance to strategize is because the more I have in me, the more I can pull on. Think about it. Here's a question for you. If you were to go to a person who's to help you develop a plan for your life, would you want to go to someone who has a little bit of strategy or a lot of strategy? Or has a little bit of understanding or a lot of understanding? A little bit of experience or a lot of experience? Well, and I shared it yesterday, over the last 7 years, and I don't say this to impress upon you, I just say it because, again, it's just that hunger and thirst I have. Over the last 7 years, I've read 95 books. 95 books over the last 7 years. And I say that because, think about it, all the information, all the knowledge, all the experience, all the understanding, all the awareness that I was able to get from somebody else. Now, when I'm talking to you, or I'm looking at life, or I'm thinking about situations, I got all of this I can pull from. Who would you rather get a strategy from? Somebody who's read one book? You know what I'm saying? Yo, I got a strategy for you, and this is how you're gonna do it. Or somebody that's read 90 books that has all different principles, all different all different information from all different levels, perspectives, you name it. And so that's the whole reason why I come on. That's why, again, I can do this all day. Because I love talking to people. I love communicating. I love supporting people. I love help strategizing, coming up with plans, getting perspectives so that we can all grow and maximize our potential. So here's the way we're going to go, man, okay, during our time on here. This is Talk About It Thursday. So that basically means it's very similar to, you know what I'm saying, what's on your mind Wednesday. I want you to share, what do you want me to talk about? Like, what do you want me to give a couple minutes on to talk about? Any subject, any topic, whatever on your mind, they're going to talk about it. And then I'm going to go probably about 3 of them for this morning, okay? So the first 3 people that kind of come in, just type in or whatever, what do you want me to talk about? What do you want to hear some information on, some strategy? Maybe a different perspective. Maybe you're going through life and you know what, everything seems going one way, but you might need a little bit extra just to get you over that hump. Or maybe you're right at the cusp of being, of totally dominating your industry, or totally getting over a bad relationship, or getting over a hurt or pain. And you say, you know what? Let me just listen and be open, right? Be open to something else that I may not be aware of. Well, that's what it is. That's what it is about right now, okay? So I want to see if anybody's put anything in here already. If not, then, okay, whoever's the first one in, Talk About It Thursday. What is it that you want? Thank you, Sonia. So you're definitely my morning motivation. Every day, 10 for God, okay? All right, apply strategy, Sean. Robert, keep doing what you're doing, man. Doing a great job of bringing all those resources for people, man. That's, again, it's just like reading. You're just giving people resources and perspective, and you're learning as well. Tony said, okay, Tony had a question. I see you, Tony. Step it up, baby. Remember, questions over statements any day, baby. You get to pull on what people got. Here's your question. Tony said, I have a question for you, Donovan. All right, and you got to spell my name with an I, though. Donobin. You know what I'm saying? He said, I've been on my job for 5 years, and I've given tendered 100% every day. And they told me, let me see. They told me that they're not going to move me up. How do you keep strong about that? All right. Now, that's one situation. Now, one of the most dangerous things in life, okay, is basically is employment. One of the most dangerous things in life is employment. And here's what I mean by that. The culture that we live in, does not believe in you, does not believe in me. The culture that we believe in will train us to get up and get a job. The culture we live in will train us to help somebody else's dream come true, not discover your own dreams. The culture that we live in believes that it's only that there will be kind of haves and there'll be have-nots, and no matter where you fall in that, as long as they're pushing you one way or the other, you're going to be fine. The culture that we believe in does not focus on cultivating your gifts and talents or create you to use your imagination, to use your perception, your reasoning skills, to use your intuition. The culture we live in doesn't do it. So by very nature, every day you wake up, you are in a culture that is counter to you being able to maximize your potential. Thus is the sense that every situation that everybody has with a job. You go to a job, that job was developed and that career was developed, that business structure was developed by somebody else with their ideal and their vision. Now, what are they going to do with the job? What are they going to do with the business? They're going to now add commodities. Now, everything part of that commodity, okay, everything part of that plan is all about helping the person or the individual or the institution that created it, helping them succeed. Now, one of the natures, just like sports, okay, professional sports, the NFL teams, every player is just a commodity. That means, they got NCAA where they can bring guys in, cast guys out. I mean, you got to understand where you're at on the totem pole here. You got to understand, what are your rights? What do you have to do? What is your freedom? What is your liberty? How can you expand? And so when you start to think about this, you're like, wait a minute. I'm at my job, just like you said, for 5 years, and you give it 100%. But there isn't anywhere for you to expand. There isn't any way for you to grow. You're waiting for something and someone to give you a bonus. You're waiting for someone to promote you. But see, that's why that's one of the most dangerous, employment is one of the most dangerous things in the world. Because what it does is it puts a lid on you versus a launch pad. It doesn't give you to help you get the skills that you need and then give you the elevation that you need to launch you into something that's from the deep on the inside. Thus, what also does it do? It limits your earning potential. It limits your potential to pour out, to do, to create, to be. You see, Bill Gates and everybody created thing, they're not super special because they're made smarter or more intelligent. No. It's just that they decided to go against the status quo. They decided to say, despite what they said, despite what they did. I mean, think about it. Bill Gates made the IBM computer and stuff in a garage. Well, he was working at the job. They were going to school. But they said, you know what? The culture is just teaching me to just fit into this little box of IBM. But I got to do more than this. So here's what I say to you. I say, always remember this. Do what you need to do until you can do what you want to do. So that means stay on your job. Keep working at your job. Continue to give 100%. Continue to tender out 100%. Continue to add more value that you can. Now, while you're doing that, I want you to do another thing. I want you to start writing down, man. Search your heart, search your vision, search your dream. What is it? What is the big problem that you want to solve here on this earth? What is the area in this culture, in this society that you want to be a part of, that you want to leave a legacy and say, man, you know what? This was a situation and I gave my time, my energy to change this. And then I want you to write it down. It could be a business idea. It could be an entrepreneurship. It could be something in small business. It could be something philanthropically and something in charity. But whatever it is, write it down. And then write how it would change. And then what I want you to do, I want you to stay on your job. I want you to continue to make money to take care of your family. But then I also, at the end of it, what I want you to do is on your breaks and at the end of the day, when you get home, I want you to start researching more on how to do what it is that you're trying to do. How to turn that into revenue, okay? Turn that idea into revenue, or how to get a part of a cause. Because for some people, money is not the only thing. They can feel like, man, I'm working here, but man, when I get off work and I get a chance to volunteer with these kids, or I get a chance to change this impact, I get a chance to go to the Boys and Girls Club, or I get a chance to create this idea, I get a chance to read, I get a chance to speak, I get a chance to do whatever it is I want to do. Whatever it is, I get to teach, whatever it is. Then they start feeling fulfilled. Then the job situation, because the job situation doesn't seem like it's a lid and smothering you. It seems like it's a component to help launch you. I hope that makes sense. So what I'm not saying leave your job. But what I am saying is after you discover, are there opportunities for you to be escalated and you find out that you kind of maxed that out, then I want you at the same time, simultaneously, I want you to discover what is that on the inside of you. And I want you to start to pursue it. The biggest conqueror of any fear. I don't know. The biggest conqueror of every doubt. Well, what do I do? Where do I do? The biggest doubt, the biggest conqueror of any uncertainty is action. That's the biggest conqueror. That wins every single time. The more you start putting action out there, the more you start eliminating the things that you thought you couldn't do. The more you start putting action out there and you just do it. So what if you don't know how to do it? So what if you get it wrong? Guess what? You got to practice, so you got to be happy with doing it wrong enough times until you know how to do it right. So that means do it wrong enough times until you know how to do it right. And then give yourself the benefit of the doubt. So I hope that helps you, man. All right, so I hope that helps you, man. And feel strong about it. But here's what you should feel stronger about. You should feel stronger about the fact that are you achieving the level of total expansion and expression for yourself? Or are you looking for somebody else to give you permission to go and grow in life? I hope that helps, man, for your question. What else we got? Thank you for your question, man. I appreciate it. Let's see what else we got. Getting over to see Robert. Sean says starting a new endeavor in business. All right, same thing. Who is this? Sean talking about starting a new endeavor in business. Okay, listen. Business is all about the process, all about principles, okay? It's about principles and process. That's what business is about. You got to learn some principles. What are principles? Principles are laws that govern, okay, that work no matter who, no matter what, no matter when. So whatever business you're looking at, you got to understand the laws of business. Learn that first. What are the laws of business? Okay, you have a business plan. That means you are creating the vision. The Bible says without the vision, the people perish. It also said write the vision, make it plain. So people, when they see it, they can run with it. So if you don't, the first components of your starting a new business endeavor is making sure you got the vision down. Make sure it's fleshed out. Make sure write as much detail about it as you can, because there's a proverb that says, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So that means once you've got yourself ready, Your business plan is written down. Your business ideas, the process, your projection, your target audience, where you're going to get your capital from. Okay, what do you stand for? What is your brand? All those things. Once you walk those things out, and you can study that, you can learn that on YouTube. You can go online and say, hey, how do you do a business plan? How do you market? How do you do a marketing plan? You can do that. That's the first step. Because what it's going to do is going to paint a picture. And now when you're reaching out for help from people, they're going to ask you for that. Or even if they don't ask you for it because they don't know or they're not understanding the principles or process yet, you give it to them. Well, here's my business plan. Here's what I'm thinking. Hey, take a look at this. What do you think about this? Okay, now they'll see it in writing. People believe what they see more than just what they hear, okay? So that means when they see it written down, they can believe that you're committed to it and that you thought it out. So that's one of the first things. Get a plan, write it out, marketing plan, business plan. Second thing, get yourself a mentor so that you can take the plan too. So now what is a mentor? Somebody that's already walked down the path and have already been successful. Okay, and so now you want to walk that out. And then the third thing, you know what I'm saying, with starting a new business, man, you got to count up the cost. Count up the cost of what it takes. Most businesses, they say they fail after like 3 years. Well, guess what? That's a number. Everything is a number. So it's just like the number one when you win. Okay? So instead of looking at what's the bad thing, yes, you can focus on optimistic reality, which is, yes, I'm being optimistic, it's going to work out, but I'm also being realistic, which means if I'm sitting on the couch and I'm saying, I got a destiny and I'm going to have this plan and I'm going to have this business that's going to really go viral and all that stuff, but I'm going to sit on the couch, man, that's not optimistic reality. Reality says that I'm going to sit here and what I'm going to get really good at is what I'm watching on TV, where I'm going to get really good at tightening these hip flexors because I'm sitting down, all right? So remember, business plan, mentor, and count up the cost. What is the cost for your time to start something new? Are you willing to pay the cost to learn these principles? Are you willing to pay the cost to not look at social media, for entertainment, but to look at social media, okay, for who's doing good things out there and trying to find out what are they doing? Are you willing to use the internet and your phone instead of just making calls and complaining to somebody or we gossiping or whatever, but we now use the very much of the Safari or the Chrome, the internet, to research some ideas that we need to find out? Are you willing to put your time instead of sitting around saying, oh, I'm just tired, to say, you know what? I'm going to sleep when I'm done, not when I'm tired. I'm going to sleep when I'm done, not when I'm tired. And you're saying, you know what? I'm going to put the work in because here's the reality of it. Nobody's going to make your business successful but you. Nobody's responsible for the goals and the principles and the ideas and the dreams in your life but you. So if you're not willing to count up the cost, who is? If you're not willing to pay the price, who should? And so those are the things when I think about how to start up a business. Thank you for that. Cindy Robbins said, how do you motivate yourself to make a difference? Okay, all right, how do you motivate yourself to make a difference? Here is a very simple question. You're going to motivate yourself by starting with your purpose and your passions, okay? Start with your passion. Because if it's not inspiring you enough, you're not going to move. You see, inspiration, and this is my definition what inspiration is. Inspiration is igniting the spirit that's on the inside of you to get you to move. So inspiration happens on the inside and it gets you to motivate yourself. So that means in order to inspire myself, I have to give you something. You have to hear something, see something, read something, or experience something that inspires you enough to ignite your passion from the inside. And so first thing you need to find out, what is my passion? What am I passionate about? And you start, here's a question. I did a post last week about discovering your purpose and developing your purpose and living life with your passion. So go to my videos on my YouTube, and or All Pro Motivation, which is another page I have launched already on Facebook. I haven't announced it yet, but you guys can check it out as well. Or just go in my video section inside this one that you're watching right now, and you'll see that one as well. So here's the thing, and I talk about how to find your passion and discover your purpose, but I'm going to share with you now. So you start with your passion, right? What am I passionate about? That means, what is that thing that just irks you, that you want to see change in this life? Who is it that you want to see have a better life, and what does that better life look like? Is it for your family? Well, what is it that you want to change through? See, all change is not good, right? All change is not good. One of the principles of change, remember, principles is things that apply no matter what. One of the principles of changing is you got to understand, what am I changing from and what am I changing to? And so you got to look at your situation and say, what am I passionate about? I'm passionate about this. All right, now how do I want it to change? Well, I want it to change from this. Define it. This is what it is. Now, what do I want to change it to? This is what I want to change it to. And then here's how you motivate yourself to make a difference. You start writing out the plan in between. What do you think is all the things that need to be done to bring it from where you're at here to bring it to where you want it to be here? Now that applies to you financially. You can say, hey man, I'm in the red here. I want to be in the green here. What does it mean? What do I got to do to motivate myself or to get it there? Well, I got to put a big enough passion and big enough inspiration there. Well, I want to take a trip, or you know what I mean? I want to be able to pay for school. I want to pay off my debt. I want to pay on something. I want to do something that I really, really want. Not something that you need, something that you really, really want. Make this thing so much about your pleasure. Yes, your pleasure and your desire. What do you really want? Do you want to go to Taiwan? You want to go to Thailand? You want to go to China? You want to go to Africa? You want to go to safari? You want to go to Brazil? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? You want to take a Disney cruise? Where do you want to go? Make it big enough that it's entertaining enough it's inspire you. Not something that you need, but something that you want. And so let your passion be tied to something that you want. Not just something that you need, okay? But something that you want. Because we'll do amazing things for what we want. When last time you upgraded your phone just because you wanted it? Not because you needed it, but you found a way to still pay for it, you understand? When last time you bought a new bag? Hey, not because you needed it, because you got 100 bags, because you wanted it. So when you understand and you start with your passions of your desires, okay? And when those desires are lined up, with helping other people, that's when here's a secret. That's what I found out, that it's just amazing. The universe just helps you. It helps you accomplish it. That is when those desires and those passions you have are tied to helping out humanity, helping out other people, helping somebody else's circumstances. But when they're just tied to you, I'm not saying it can't be, but when they're just tied to you, when you got a list of 5 or 10, and 90% of them is all about you, I ain't gonna say nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying everything ain't right with that. Because if you want to really make a difference, it's all about the fact that we're interdependent and interconnected. That means that we're connected, man, on a very deep level, although we may not realize it. And we need each other. And so when you have those passions and those desires to help other people, okay, and that's a passion, that's how you motivate yourself. You got to get something big enough to inspire you. What you're looking at right now ain't inspiring you. You may be looking at your needs. I need to pay the bills. I need food on the table. I need to take care of the kids. No. Forget the need, okay? In terms of this concept of motivate yourself, forget the need right now. What do you really, really want? What do you really, really, really want? That's what I want you to focus on. That's where I want you to start. And that's what I want you to list out. All right. So I hope that helps, Cindy. All right. All right. Bridget said, how do you motivate yourself after losing a job? Hey, here's the thing. Here's the way you motivate yourself at losing a job. You know what I mean? You celebrate. Here's the thing, because what they did when one door closes, another door opens. Here's what they did. Hey, Bridget, they released you. They released you to now give you time. See, while you're on a job, when you're comfortable, we don't tend to change. We tend to stay consistent, doing the same thing we did over and over and over. But it is when something or life seems to release us, and it may come by the way of somebody losing a job, but you're actually losing a job to find your passion. You're losing your job to find your next chapter. See, I've never read a multi-chapter book that never switched scenes. You see, I never read a multi-chapter book that had the same characters in the same place at the same time, talked about the same thing. Thus, that means that life is seasonal. And in our life, we have seasons. And everything and everybody in our life is in our life for a reason and a season. We have to find out what is the reason, okay? Discover what the reason, and understand that it is a season. You see, every season of life in nature has a very strategic purpose. You know, wintertime comes, okay? In wintertime, things dry down, things die up, things get cold. But that's the time for you to start to dream in the wintertime. That's the time for you to really start to dream in the wintertime. That's because now it's not about output. It's not about growth and output. It's about input. It's about you living from the inside out. And this may be a winter season for you where you lost a job. Well, now's the time to start dreaming. Now's the time to start writing things down. What do you want to do next? Where are we going to celebrate the next chapter of your life? Look at your life. Look before now. There's many times that you've already overcome situations. There's many things you lost or you got released from. I don't say lose. You got released from to take the next step. You see, if I have my hands full, okay, and somebody gives me money, it's not till I release it, then I can get what they have for me. You see, this job may have done the biggest favor for you, whether you realize it or not. And so the wintertime comes to dry things up, freeze things out, but it's time for planning. Then you have the springtime. Springtime is now when you start to plan things out and you start to take the small steps. Okay, you start to plan things out now. Wintertime is dreaming time. Springtime is planning things out. Now you're starting to research all this stuff. Okay, now where do I need to go? How do I need to do it? Now you're springtime, you start planning this stuff out, planning it out. You're putting action to it. Okay, you're putting action in terms of the structure. And then summertime, when the heat is up, now you on the grind. Now you working. Now you putting that plan in action. You're running with it. And then fall time, autumn, there it is, baby. Most people love fall time. What? Because now it's harvest time. Now it's the harvest time. But guess what? Where did it start? It started by us losing the warm weather. It started with wintertime. It started with things drying up. Perspective-wise, we think drying up, oh my goodness, what's happening to me? But it's not what's happening to me. It's what's happening for me. You're being released. You're being in a situation where you're being launched. Here's your opportunity. And it's only up to you to make the most of this season now. You know what I'm saying? So I celebrate you. I congratulate you. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually looking in anticipation of what the next chapter of your life is going to be. It's all about perspective. Remind yourself of that. Watch this video again. And do me a favor, if you guys are watching this, okay, if you know somebody's going to need this, if this information is helping you, do me a favor, hit the share button, okay? And if you can, type in, when you hit the share button, let people know, just type a word, hey, you need to listen to this, okay? Most people follow suggestions or recommendations, okay? So let them know, hey, you need to listen to this for this, or just, hey, you need to check this out, okay? And definitely spread the word. So I hope, Bridget, I hope that was good for you right there. Sean said, God closed one door to open another. Use experience to move forward. Tanisha, hey, Nene, what's up, sweetheart? All right, who else? Strategizer moving up. Good. Frank, Mark, good morning. Here's your morning shout out to Derek. Sean Mahoney got that. Robert, success leaves clues. Science I've learned that when I put God first, he gives me what I need. May not be what I want, but it's always what I need. Exactly. Remember this, the manufacturer always knows what he needs to do, what they need to do with their product. Don't matter who's using it. Manufacturer always wins because they already know they made it with their ideal. You're not the ideal. You didn't create the ideal. You're just the experience. You're experiencing the manifestation of that ideal. So the best thing to do to know about yourself and how you function and how you live life and how you do this stuff is to understand principles and get those principles from the manufacturer. It's like looking at the manual book. I got to read the manual book to know everything about this product. I got to do it. But how many of us open up a phone, open up a new gadget, and we just start experimenting with it? Well, that's what we're doing with our life. We just experiment. We just experiment. I'm gonna do this today because I feel like this. Well, the manufacturer ain't never had the ideal for you to do that. Okay? Never had the ideal for you to do that. And when you do that, and then you fall into some hard times, or you bust your head open because, you know what I'm saying, you're hard-headed, or you're stubborn, or you just say, you know what, I'm just going to do it on my own way. It's not until that happens till you finally turn back. So I'm basically looking at this. How many of you guys are based on a roller coaster of life? Boom, 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 up and down, up and down, up and down. Now, I'm not saying life is not a roller coaster, but how many of you guys are on an up and down roller coaster only because you failed to slow down long enough to listen and talk to the manufacturer, to find out about the principles of life, the principles that are regulating our life. And there are universal principles, okay? There are natural principles. There's all these principles that when we understand it, we can walk through life with expectation. Just like somebody said they lost a job. Oh, woe is me. But guess what? Seed time, harvest time, man. You know what I'm saying? You reap what you're going to sow. So you might have been sowing some things in some other areas. And the only way for you to reap that harvest is for you to let go of one place so you can now go over here. You may have been sowing seeds in your mind. You may, the law of thinking. Okay, what do I spend my time thinking about? You know what I'm saying? What am I thinking about? What am I attracting to my life? What am I spending my time thinking about? What am I focusing on and drawing to my life? You say, man, all of a sudden I'm just sick. You know what I'm saying? My sugar's high. You know what I'm saying? My diabetes, my cholesterol, man, I'm getting headaches. So, man, where's it coming from? Well, if you rewind the tape and you start looking at the things you're watching on TV, if you start listening to your conversation, you know what I'm saying? Man, I'm sick and tired of these people around here. I'm sick and tired. Oh, man, you know what I'm saying? I just saw this report on 60 Minutes in 2020 on the internet, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, you know what I'm saying, and YouTube about how blood pressure's rising nowadays. And all of a sudden, my blood pressure rising. What are you focusing on? Listen, what I'm saying is not hocus pocus. And the reason why I'm passionate about it, because, listen, the biggest enemy we have in life ain't the devil. They ain't the biggest enemy. It ain't nothing. It ain't nobody. The biggest enemy we have is our ignorance. That is our lack of knowledge, our lack of understanding. And it comes down to a lack of awareness. You see, in life, because we can only manifest things up to our level of awareness. Meaning like this. Ever since the beginning of mankind would have always been able to fly from Earth to outer space. That principle was always there to be able to do that. But why couldn't they do that when a man first started? One, because they weren't aware of it. They weren't aware of the technology that was needed. They weren't aware of the laws that govern outer space travel. They weren't aware of a lot of stuff. But as time went on and people started to learn and become more aware, remember, the knowledge is already here. The information you need is here. The answer to your problem, your situation is already here. You're just not aware of it yet. And so, for example, when I lose something, okay, here's a little insight to me, right? When I lose something, like I can't find let me say it the other way. When I can't find my keys or something, I don't walk, the first inclination that happens to us, oh, I lost my keys. Nope. I don't do that. Here's what I do. Here's what I suggest. I just basically pray. And I say, God, I don't know where my keys are, but I know you know. Now I'm asking you to please reveal them to me. Reveal where they are to me. Why? Because they're not lost to God. They're not lost where they're at. They have a home. They're somewhere. I'm just not aware of where it's at. And so I'm asking, instead of me fight or flight, where's my keys? What am I going to do? No. I'm just not aware where it's at. And I'm just asking, I'm praying, God, can you reveal to me where it's at? And then while I'm asking to reveal, I'm walking around. And next thing you know, out of nowhere, sometimes, boom, I remember something. It was revealed to me. The same principle applies to you. Whether it's on your job, in a relationship with your children, whatever it is, if there's whatever problem you have, don't fret about it. Just understand that you're not aware of the answer yet. And then you seek the answer. Seek it out while knowing in full confidence that as you seek it out, you're going to find the answer. Because the answer, the information is there. God says, I'll never withhold anything from you, anything good from you. He said, it's my pleasure to give you the kingdom and everything that you need. The manufacturer of a vehicle says, you know what? I'll do whatever I need to do to make sure that you have the greatest experience in your car. I'll make sure that you know everything. Matter of fact, I'll make sure so much that I'll give you GPS. And I'll even give you satellite, you know what I'm saying? What is that thing? OnStar. They say, I believe so much about it that I give you OnStar. That while you're riding around the road, wherever you're at in all of the states of the United States, that you can push a button, boop, boop. And then guess what? The manufacturer and the people that's assigned by the manufacturer will call in, hello, this is Buick. How can I help you? You see, if man creates that, understanding that principle, that you have OnStar wherever you go, which you get a chance to talk to the person designated by your manufacturer, how much more in your life, in a different situation of your life? Where we have a manufacturer who basically all God says is that we just have to pray. All we have to do is pray. All we have to do is just have a conversation. Call on the answer that we need. Understand it's not revealed to us and it's not being held from us. Nobody's holding anything from you. It may seem like it, but remember, every power and all authority that there is came from the one who created everything and everybody. And so remember, life ain't happening to you, life is happening for you. All right, so listen, I hope that helps, man. Listen, we gotta get going. Like I said, I enjoy this. I hope you guys enjoy this as well. Make sure you guys are sharing this message. Okay, Big Nate, what's up, boss man? Yes, taking your mom to Africa, yes. Okay, let me say, you guys, God is my GPS to success. Yes, it is. Yes, it works every time. Ask, you shall see when you pray. So listen, man, I hope that helps you guys. Listen, this was Talk About It Thursday. We talked about some topics today. Make sure you share this message. Let a person know. Let them know, hey, write the post when you share it. Let them know, why should they listen to it? What did you get out of it? Why should they hear? Why should they tune in? And then what inspired you? Anything to let a person know. People share things all the time. But if we give them a reason why to watch it, the statistics goes up that much more of why they should, okay? So listen, you guys have a great day today. We got a full day planned ahead as well. Listen, if there's anything I can do, man, to help you guys, let me know, okay? I'm here to serve, here to connect, inspire, motivate, and energize. So I hope that's been your situation today. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day today. If you like these messages, don't forget, go ahead and like them, post your comments, subscribe to them, and then the YouTube channels and all that good stuff. And I'll holler at y'all later. Peace out.